Hey guys, backyard scrapping here. I just stepped out to the little lab. It's early Sunday morning, and I don't know if you can see that, but it is blowing wind out here, and it is starting to snow. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time out here getting this cleaned up. Let's see if you can hear that. According to the weatherman, once again, it's supposed to be sun shining. But that's what I said. I need that job. Anyway, I'm going to stay out here for a little bit. That's our drop from our tungsten contacts. I'm going to go ahead and rinse and clean that up. And then it's probably going to be tomorrow before we get to this, because it is just too cold out here with this wind blowing and the snow starting to come down. So I'll get back at you. I'm not going to put you through all this rinse and stuff. I'm going to just go ahead and get it rinsed, cleaned, and dried, and then we're going to figure our ratios just from that and see how much we ended up with out of that, and then we'll do that monster. So back at you in a bit. Okay guys, very quickly we are going to do our tungsten contacts, weight and percentage. They actually turned out pretty good. We had a filter paper, one from the tungsten, ended up at 0.08. Then we had some powder from contacts or whatever that broke up. That came in at 9.01 grams. And then we had our solids that were left over, which came in at 117.43 grams, for a total solid waste of 126.52 grams. So we started with 229.41 grams of the tungsten contacts. So we have 126.52 by 229.41. So that gives us a solid waste of 55.15%. So that means that 44.85% were dissolvable of the tungsten. So they were 44.85% dissolvable. Okay, so now we started with 229.41. We're going to take away the 126.52 equals, gives us 102.89 grams possible. This is possible in silver. Now we know there was probably going to be a little bit of copper, and there was probably going to be a little bit of lead or whatever that remained in solution. So there is our, this is from the tungsten contacts. Very good, came out very clean. I already know what this jar weighs, so we're going to go ahead and just put this in this jar for now. Just for safekeeping, we will weigh it and see exactly what we got out of those tungsten contacts, which they actually turned out about 15% better than I thought they were going to turn out, because I figured 30 to 35%, and we actually got 44.85, but that's dissolvable. We'll know our exact numbers right now in just a second. Okay, so that is our silver powder. Let's see what this weighs. Comes in at 224.93, 224.93 minus 123.5, 123.5 equals, we ended up with, wow, that's good. We ended up with 101.43 grams. So we had a possible total dissolve of 102.89. We ended up with 101.43. So that is actually really good. So let's see what our final percent was. 0.43 equals 44.21% pure. That was really good. Really, really good for those tungsten contacts. The most I expected out of them was 35%, and we got 44.21%, 99.9 fine silver out of that. So that is really, really good. So the next thing is going to be, we're going to keep all this together. We're going to dry and weigh out and do our ratios on our alloy contacts. So this really surprised me. That came out very well. Anyway, and we'll get back to you when we're doing that. I'm not going to put you through the filtering or anything like that. There's a lot of work still has to be done. It's just repetitive stuff that you guys have seen and you know. So when I get it dried, I'll get it in here and we'll do the exact same thing in here and that I did with this, and then we'll check our ratios, add both together, and see where we ended up. Alright guys, we'll be back at you in a bit. Okay guys, as you can see, we got a nice bright sunshiny day, but the problem is it's still about 29 degrees out here. This is actually my second venture out here this morning. I had to set all this stuff out in the sun because all that was frozen solid. So things are almost all thawed out. I'm going to kind of move this stuff back out of the way, and we are going to get set up to do the super drop. So I've just had to wait till it warmed up enough out here to do that. I think we'll be alright. Some of that stuff in the back that I'm not going to be using is still frozen, but that doesn't matter. So anyway, let me get this area cleaned up and get us set up, and we will go ahead and do our super big drop. So back at you in a bit, guys. Okay guys, I just wanted to show you where we're at. Actually last night I actually did set this in a bucket and bring it into my utility room because, like I said, I got down to 14 last night and I didn't want this ice cold for this drop. I've never done a drop when it's this cold, so this is a newbie. Also, this is going to be, it's not going to be the biggest drop I've ever done, but it's going to be the biggest visible drop that I've ever done. I was able to find this 2-gallon cookie jar. It's not a super clear glass, but we still should be able to see it enough to actually watch the drop. I've done bigger drops, but they've been in buckets or something that you can't actually watch it happen. So this is actually going to be the first time, or the biggest drop that I've ever done visual, that you can actually see and watch the drop happening. So I've got my coils set up. We're getting everything set up to do this. Let me get finished up. We've got to put this in here and then double our volume of water, and then we're going to be ready to go. So I'll get back with you in just a sec. Okay guys, here we go. I got everything set up, got everything ready to go, and like I said earlier, this is going to be probably the largest visible drop that I've ever done. I have done bigger drops in buckets, but we're going to actually use 3 coils. So we have a close-up cam. So we're going to start one. We're going to keep them fairly close together so we can see them. And there we go. So we are off and running. Okay guys, we are about 5 hours in right now, and I'm just going to give you a kind of a roundabout of what's going on here. Basically, I'm going to shake those down in a minute, which will cloud everything up so we won't be able to see. So I figured I'd give you a shot of it first, and I'll actually do a real close-up so you can see the crystals, but we've got some beautiful stuff going on in here. And we are going to let this go for the night. I don't know if you can see very much over there in the back, but the silver's pretty piled up back there. I actually got to move some stuff, stir it up and move it around so I can get the rest of this off of these coils, but that's where we are right now. I'm going to have to cut up this time lapse quite a bit because, like I said, even time lapsing it over 5 hours is, I mean, that's going to be a lot of time. So anyhow, I just wanted to show you where we were. I'm going to stir this up, and then our next shot of it will be tomorrow morning. So we will see you all in the morning. Okay guys, it looks like our reaction has stopped. It is the next morning. I actually had to bring this inside because it's in my utility room because it was just, going to be way down below freezing again last night, and I didn't want anything going wrong with this. But anyway, you can see we have our nice blue copper nitrate now. Our coils don't seem to be generating any more silver. I am going to leave it a little while longer just in case. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it in there, but there is quite a nice little heap of silver in there that's going to have to be cleaned and rinsed and dried. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing most of today. I have to get hold of Mr. C. I know he wants some bars or some pours, so I'm going to get with him, send him a email and see exactly what he wants. I'm thinking we'll get to clean this up, get it dried out, and get it weighed in this video, but that's probably going to be it. We'll probably have to do the pours in another video. So anyway, we will get back at you in a bit. Okay guys, our big batch is done and dried. We're going to go ahead and do our final weigh-in. We started with 1,416.98 grams of contacts in total. There was 229.41 that were tungsten, which is this batch over here, which we already showed, went through that. And that left us alloyed contacts of 1,087.57 grams to start with. Okay, so from our filterings from that, we trapped 0.25 grams of material in our filters, and we had 0.13 grams of solids left, so that gives us 1187.57 minus 0.25 minus 0.13 minus, so that gives us a total of 1,187.19 grams to start with. This is our solid, so that's done and out. So we have a possible ending weight of 1,000. This is if it was pure silver. Now, it wasn't pure silver because there was some lead. I'm sure there was some copper. But anyway, that's our possible, is 1,187.119. So now we'll get this and we'll figure what our actual pure silver ratio was. So we are going to go ahead and start. It's probably going to take me a couple containers, so I'm going to just go at it. Beautiful. Looks like little sparkly beach sand, only silver. It took just about all night for this to dry. I had it in the oven at about 220 degrees because actually I had to start it at 200 because you don't want it to boil when you're doing this. Otherwise you'll spatter it out. So you have to get it where it's, you know, the actual liquid is pretty much gone, or any fluid that's in there is gone. Then you can turn up the heat a little bit to vaporize it. But if you've got any, you know, loose liquid in there floating around, not just mud, and you turn it up past the boiling point, it's going to boil and then it's going to spatter, and stuff is actually going to spatter out of your dish. So you don't want to do that. Always remember, keep your oven very low until you're about 3/4 dry, and then you can crank it up to finish it. We're at almost 400 grams. This is going to put us over 400. Okay, so we're going to get it to 500, as close to 500 as we can. So there's 500.07, that's close enough. Let's see, set that there. We'll use this little one next. So we are good to go. And it'll stay on there good. It won't dust off as long as you don't make any quick movements. Once you shake that off, it's pretty much going to stay on that spoon. It's going to give us 900 in here. Wow, that feels nice. So we are at 900 right now. That bowl is clean. This was a very, very good amount, very good quality of contacts. Alright, there's that. And we have 158.9. So we had 900. And we have 158.9. 158.92. So 158.92 gives us a grand total of 900 plus 158.92 equals 1,058 grams. 1,058.92. Okay, so in that we lost 1187.19 minus 1058.92 equals, it's a loss of 128 grams, 128.27, which very well, I know there was copper inside some of those because I could tell by the fluid, so this is really good. And I also know that there was, you know, some solder left on them, so that didn't come out, so we just have our silver. So now let's see what we got. We got 1058.92 1187.19 equals. So that made our contacts from, for the alloy contacts, were 89.19% pure silver, which is very good. That's very good. So 89%. Now we'll do we'll add this to it, our 103 grams. So we have 1,058.92 from the alloy. We have 101.43 from the tungsten, which gives us 1058.92 plus 101.43 equals 1160.35. So our total is divided by 1416.98 equals, in total we got a recovery of 81.88%. That is fantastic considering we had tungsten in there and we had solder, so we had an 81% recovery, almost an 82% recovery. So that is absolutely fantastic. I am thrilled with that. I hope Mr. C is thrilled with that. What we're going to do now is we're going to take this total weight, 116.35 times 0.25 equals, so my end of this refine is 29, no, that's not right, 1160.35 grams total weight times 0.25 equals 290 grams, 290.08 grams to me, and 1160.35 minus 290.08 equals and Mr. C is going to get 870.27 grams. So that's our final numbers, guys. There's all our silver. I can mix all this up now and divide it out. Okay, guys, there's the final tally. There is Mr. C's jar, which is quite heavy, and there's my end. The total he ended up at 870.27 grams, which is 27.98 troy ounces of 99.9 silver. I ended up with 290.08 grams, or 9.32 troy ounces of 99.9 silver. So that wraps it up for this video. Sorry for the few boring and long parts. I tried to make it as short as I could. As soon as I hear back from him on how he wants his material returned, we will do a pour video, and then that will wrap up this series. So we'll get back at you then, guys. Have a good one.